Welcome to lesson 1. Go ahead and take the time to fill out the front, including working on your appetizer. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our main dish. So first off, this unit is going to be all about fractions, decimals, and being able to do operations with both of those. So we need to fully understand fractions. I know you have had some past learning with fractions, so we're going to really break it down so that we're all on the same page. Reminder that fractions are just representing part of a whole. So a numerator is going to be the shaded parts of the whole, and it's the top number of the fraction. So go ahead and write the definition. The shaded parts of the whole. While the denominator is just the total parts within the whole, whether they're shaded or not shaded. It's how many there are total. And that's always going to be the bottom number of the fraction. So go ahead and write that definition. Looking off to the side, 1/4 is the fraction that's being written. Just a heads up, you might see fractions written both of these ways, one with the numerator on the top and the denominator on the bottom, or with a slash, kind of like to the one to the right, where the numerator is to the left and the denominator is then to the right. So go ahead and label both of those with a quick N and a quick D to represent the numerator and denominator, and just realize that you might see fractions written both of these ways, but they still mean the same thing. Moving down, we have a couple of tape diagrams that we're going to worry about one at a time, and we're really just decomposing this tape diagram down. So we'll notice that the tape diagram has 4 total parts, so we know that our denominator is always going to be 4. And when we decompose these fractions, each shaded part is its own little part of that fraction, so we're decomposing this into a fourth, a fourth, a fourth, and a fourth, and when we add up all of those fourths, we get that whole. So go ahead and try and do this next one on your own. All right, and moving down here, this time we don't have a whole completely filled in. So first we need to determine how many total parts are there. And it looks like this time there's 5 total parts. So our denominator is going to be fifths, and we're only adding up. We're just decomposing the shaded parts. So here's one of those fifths shaded in, another one of those fifths shaded in, another one of those fifths shaded in, and another one of those fifths shaded in. And when we add all of those fifths up, we get 4/5. So we just decompose that 4/5 into those little unit fractions. Go ahead and turn to main dish part 2 when you're ready. This time we're going to use a little bit of our tape diagrams along with our number bonds. So first off, let's kind of keep going with what we were just working on. First off, how many total parts are there? This time our whole is broken into sixths. Decomposing it down, each of those pieces is 1/6. So when we add those up, this fraction that's being represented is 5/6. We can decompose a fraction this way, where we take out all of the unit fractions. So the unit fractions are fractions with a 1 as the numerator. And I can represent that using my number bond, but I can decompose this fraction a different way as well. Maybe I pull out, maybe I'm going to group these up, and I'm going to put 2 of the 6 pieces. And then I might group these up. And I have another 2/6, leaving just this 1/6 all alone over here. This is another way. I'm still decomposing 5/6, just in another way. See if you can come up with your own way to decompose 5/6 in a way that we haven't done already. I came up with a way here, but as long as whatever way you decomposed 5/6 adds up to equal 5/6, you are completely correct. Let's go ahead and move on to this next one. First off, what are you noticing about this new fraction, 7/4? Hopefully you're asking yourself or noticing, like, hey, I'm seeing that this numerator is actually bigger than the denominator. It's greater than 4. We're still going to shade in our tape diagrams like normal. So 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. Because we've shaded in a hole, we have to create another hole that is also broken into fourths. So now I can keep going. 5/4, 6/4, 7/4. This time we're going to draw out our number bonds, and we're going to put 7/4 in the middle of this first one. And what I can do here is I can do, let's group this whole together. So 4 of the fourths, and then maybe just what's ever left over here. I have 3/4 left over. In this next number bond, I actually want you to put one whole. That's what this tape diagram is representing. And then I want you to put 3/4 next to it. This is called a mixed number, when I have both a whole number and a fraction smashed together like this, representing a total amount of something. Again, this is called a mixed number, so we can decompose this really similar to how we did over with the 7/4. I can pull out a whole, I can pull out 3/4. I could also decompose these several different ways. I could pull out 7 1/4. I could pull out 3/4 at a time, all the way adding up until 7/4. However you do it, as long as you can decompose a fraction for me, that's showing that you're understanding that fractions are part of a whole. So looking at 7/4 and 1 3/4, what's the biggest difference? Honestly, you don't even need to write anything here. The biggest difference is just that 7/4 is a fraction, while 1 3/4 has a whole number with a fraction. But visually, they equal the exact same amount. Go ahead and you should be able to do your dessert today. You are going to get the chance to create both tape diagrams and number bonds to represent the fraction in your tape diagram. Good luck.